They are the largest organs in your body. They take advantage more than 23,000 times a day. The most important element of life, that's oxygen. Your lungs are that important. Today on the Transplant Helper, we're going to be talking about very briefly several things you need to do, or in one case, even not do, in order to maintain healthy lungs. Stay tuned. Hey folks, welcome to the Transplant Helper today. My name is Jim Merle, and today we're talking about lung health. What in the world can we do in order to maintain healthy lungs and to give us the best opportunity to really take advantage of God's greatest gift, and that's simply the air, the oxygen that we breathe. I think it's more important than probably we realize, and as we're going to mention here in just a few moments, especially on one or 2 points, probably something that we often overlook. So let's just jump right in and I'll give you these tips. Number one, and you probably already know I'm going there. Number one, if you want to maintain healthy lungs, don't smoke. I'll say that again. Do not smoke. Now, it doesn't matter whether you're one of those people that likes to argue that smoking is not nearly as dangerous as some suggest and yada yada, whatever. You have to admit, I think pretty much anyone would admit that smoking, if nothing else, is bad for your lungs, at least in the moment. Whether it does long-term damage, permanent damage, I'm not even arguing that, although I think in most cases it can, but the lungs themselves need to be healthy, and smoking prohibits that. Inside of cigarettes or cigars, whatever, but inside of tobacco products that are smoked, there are more than 600 chemicals, pesticides really is what they originally were, that were placed upon those tobacco products before you even access them. And that's aside from the tar, the nicotine, sometimes in some cases the lead, and if nothing more, the excess carbon dioxide that you're taking in, stifling out your body's ability to actually use the oxygen that it has available for it. So do not smoke, and if you're a smoker, consider stopping today. And I know that's going to be a real effort, and I want to tell you, I'm praying for you, I'm behind you, and it may take everybody and their mama in the kitchen sink to get you to stop, but I promise you it's worth it. So get a group of people around you, friends, family members, co-workers, doctors, everything that you can to throw at this thing, and stop smoking today in order to maintain healthy lungs. Now, you knew I was going to go there. I had to, so that was number one. Number two, and this is something we need to be doing, and that is being sure that we're breathing deeply enough. Now, that's a big one that I often overlook. As a matter of fact, right here in front of the camera, as I'm about to illustrate, I'm overlooking it right now. And that is, it's very, very important to keep healthy lungs, especially to keep those lungs cleansed, that we're taking deep enough breaths to even access that life-giving oxygen that we have available. When we're sitting, as I am right now, it's constantly being seated like in front of a computer screen, in this case in front of a computer screen, in front of a camera, and behind a microphone, and then even trying to talk fast like I am now just to keep you from having to wait so long. Oftentimes I'm not taking the deep cleansing breaths that I need to in order to really access that oxygen. And that, I promise you, if you'll check yourself for just a moment, be conscious about the way that you're breathing, you're probably going to notice that you don't even notice or even feel the breaths coming in and out. And even if you're paying attention, you won't even notice your chest rising and falling in most cases when you're in a seated position, and that's because that's really not happening very much. You need to be taking deeper breaths, avoiding shallow breaths in order to maintain your lung health. Number three, this is of utmost importance also, and that is we need to be putting a conscious effort into making our indoor air as clean as possible when we're there. And you say, well, why is that, Jim? Well, that's for the obvious. Do you realize that even outdoor air, and we'll start with outdoor air in this, and by the way, sometimes we can't do a lot to control that, at least in the moment, but outdoor air in the best situations, that is the best cases, outdoor air generally contains less than 29% oxygen. That's in the best cases. In the worst cases, like in larger industrialized cities, higher elevations, that sort of thing, oxygen levels have been measured to be as low as 9%. But nonetheless, what I'm getting at is in the outdoors, oxygen levels can be only between 23% and 9%, best and worst case scenarios. In the indoors, sometimes that can be even worse. Now, we think about outdoor air sometimes being dirty, nasty, smog-filled, whatever, but actually indoor air can be as bad, if not sometimes worse, and that really comes down to a couple of things. Number one, it comes down to the fact that we've gotten so good at building things. The buildings that we're in, the office buildings, the homes, all these things. We've done such a good job at insulating and even sealing those buildings and using building products that, for lack of better terms, are just not good for us. They have a lot of VOCs, they have a lot of ammonia, they have a lot of different things, chemicals in them that are constantly being released that are basically corrupting our air. That's the way we're living most times, and we're spending the majority of our time nowadays, sadly, indoors instead of outdoors. We're not even accessing that good fresh, clean air. So we have to be very careful that the indoor air that we have access to is as clean as possible. Now, here's a few things you can do to make that possible. Number one, in certain seasons, go ahead and raise that window, open that door, get some of the outdoor air in, because the indoor air generally in these sealed environments also is not being circulated very often. It's basically old, used, worn out, stagnant air that's been breathed through by anybody and everybody. And so now the CO2 levels are higher, but the oxygen levels are lower. So open a door, open a window, at least for a period of time or for a moment or two. If you can't do that, step outside. And again, I know seasons determine this. Living in Alabama, we have the strangest, craziest weather ever. Yesterday, I think it was 72 degrees outside. 2 days before that, it was 11. Okay, so there are days when you go outside and days when you don't. But step outside, get access to at least the best air that you can get a hold to, and then back into your indoor environment if possible, especially if you're a pulmonary patient, a lung patient to begin with. Try to get hold of some type of pretty good quality air purification system, whether that's whole house or single room. You can usually pick those up at your local Walmart or drugstore, that sort of thing. They can be a little bit expensive, but I think well worth it to clean some of that air. And then the even better way is to bring the outdoors in, and that is by having green plants in your home. You can do a lot to cleanse the air, to take out some of that carbon dioxide, and even to elevate or raise those oxygen levels inside your house by having green plants. Now, by the way, they recommend having 2 to 3 green plants in every room, believe it or not. And so you got to make that a part of your decor, or you're not going to be able to succeed at that. So that's just some of the things we can do to cleanse our indoor air. So number one, don't smoke. And number two, be sure that you're cleaning or at least having the best access to indoor air. Number three, and this one's a big one, exercise your lungs. Now, we think about exercising our body for different things. If you were going to be in a race, some kind of a run or a jog, you would get out there and exercise. You would practice. You would get your body to the best of its ability in the shape in order to have it to be able to accomplish whatever's set before you. You know that exercise is important. It does a lot even for your lungs just in general, but actually taking time every single day, okay, I said every single day, to consciously exercise your lungs by themselves is extremely important. And that's very easy to do. It kind of goes the opposite of those shallow breaths that we normally take. And I'll show you right now. It'll look stupid, but I'm okay with that. Basically, you just sit still in a still, quiet room. If you want to, close your eyes like I am now, and then take in the deepest breath possible. Hold it for just a moment. Blow it all the way back out until you can't blow anymore. Do that 3 or 4 times a day. Do that about 10 times each of those 3 or 4 times. So as we might say in the workout world, 10 reps 4 times a day. And I promise you, you're not only cleaning your lungs, you're exercising those lungs so they'll get higher and higher capacity and get better and better at taking that oxygen in, getting it in your body, and then sending it out to your bloodstream so everything in your body can do better. And by the way, those deep breaths do a lot for releasing stress or relieving stress, releasing serotonin, the good happy feelings in your life, and really just helping you out. That's why we've always been encouraged, if we get excited worried or anxious or angry, the best thing we can do is to pause. What do they say? Take a deep breath and count to 10. That's because we're getting the oxygen in, and it's basically a medication or the prescription for giving us that calmer feeling. So try that out every day. And let me encourage you on top of that, especially if you're a pulmonary patient, if you're like I am and you remember that little device, and I'll put one up here on the screen, you remember that little device, the spirometer that they brought in your hospital room and it sat there on your table for so long and you rarely ever used it, that sort of thing. What was that for? That was for those people, the doctors, nurses, and especially the pulmonary people, to measure your ability to intake and output air. In that case, oxygen was what they were looking for, but really they were looking for lung capacity. They told you to breathe in deeply, blow out as hard as you can, and they watched those little balls float up and down and bounce up and down, and it was kind of a game, albeit most of us didn't like it, so it just sat there. I want to encourage you, especially if you're a pulmonary patient, go down to Walmart. They have them at Walmart. They've got them at most drug stores. You can pick one up at your pharmacy, that sort of thing. Go pick one of those up. They're between $5 and $10, and they can not only help you to be a tool to help to motivate you to continue to exercise those lungs, they'll help you to get some idea as to where you are when you're doing that. That's so important in order to maintain lung health. So number 1, do not smoke. Number 2, take deep breaths. Number 3, exercise your lungs every day. Now, I've got the good news here at the end, and that is, do you realize that although the lungs are harder to heal sometimes, in most cases, in most scenarios, there's a lot you can do toward healing those lungs in pretty much every case. Smokers particularly have a good outlook if they'll stop smoking and then start doing things to really maintain their lung health. I appreciate you joining me today on this program. Again, if you've enjoyed this program, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. So subscribe, share this program out. That would be absolutely great. And let me encourage you to keep coming back every day. I'm trying to put this content together at least 2 to 3 days a week. You can always find a program on Tuesday and Thursday, generally a couple of other days a week too. You'll find much the same. And so I hope that you're continuing to participate and watch these, because you're really becoming a part of the Transplant Helper community. Go ahead and comment below if you appreciate lung health. I know you appreciate the air that you're breathing, but if you appreciate lung health, and if you've got any tips or tools that we can use also to help me and this entire community that's growing here to maintain a healthy body, I hope that you'll let me know about them in the comments below. Again, thank you so much for joining me, and until next time, stay stronger, friends.